Okay, so here, engineer can be a bit of a blind spot for me. Um, there's no village here. There's embargo as a 2 point pile, so estate's probably not going to get touched. Uh, there's no non-terminal even, so pathfinding pretty garbage. This is probably just like chapel into butcher, maybe smugglers, maybe rogue, but probably just chapel silver, maybe chapel engineer. Certainly chapel. Wow, this is a really good draw if the 70% chance of the chapel not missing comes through. I probably would have gotten gold there. Yeah, this is an exceptionally good draw. What? Okay, I'm guessing the chapel missed the shuffle, but it's still got to be premature. Didn't even know that that Jake's chapel wasn't missing the shuffle. Okay, here, what do we have going on here? We have you. There's no thinning, but there is a little bit of deck control. So okay, Jake's opened Tormentor, which will get him some imp switches, pretty good. The other thing you could do is just try to delve a lot, which I'd have to think about being better. You could also try to draw, but the only real draw other than the imps is like Walled Village and Scholar. And since well, there is some other payload you can use like Baker for payload and do that, but I think that's a bit clunky to not really get further ahead than if you're just getting a bunch of silvers and buying provinces. Um, the thing I so the thing about what Jake did is that it's not very efficient, right? You end up with a silver and a tormentor after the shuffle, which just like you're not making good use of delve and you're not making the greatest use ever of the um, Baker token. So like part of me wants to double delve, just get like 3 silvers, and then look at a time where you hit natural 5 probably on turn 3 or 4 to get the tormentor and play it that way. And I'd also want to pick up a Baker after that, but other than that, mostly just go for delve money. Um, yeah, I'm not sure though. What Jake did might be better. I'd have to think through it more, and I'm not going to think through it that much. And this jumping thing happened again. Okay, but they've both gone this way, so it is what it is. Pretty sure you just get a silver here or delve, but it doesn't matter obviously because you're not going to buy a copper or something. Might be one of those boards where you just don't do the thinning Jake just said, but unless I misheard him, there is no thinning to do, so obviously you don't do the thinning. Maybe he said the thing. I tend to think that triple silver is better than gold, but given that you have the Tormentor and the imps that you want to see more often, I'd be more inclined to get the gold here. I'm really not confident though. Oh wow, Silver Island? I really don't like that. It's going to be pretty hard to line your island up with estates, and like islanding a copper is just too marginal. You need to be exploding faster than that, and the extra island points and the thing from island just don't matter that much. If you're able to immediately line one of them up with an estate, then maybe you're okay. But even in that case, I'm not even sure that you're ahead at all. You're certainly not going to be very far ahead. And if you miss, it's kind of a disaster. So now Jake has 2 islands, and also with his Tormentor, he's like over terminal. This is just quite bad. It's just way too many islands. They shouldn't have been there. Um, like, yeah, it's a pretty bad decision to get those islands, I think. Should definitely pick up another silver here. He takes the cellar, and I don't understand what the goal is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jake is just quite far behind now. Okay, well, this doesn't help. Not really a fan of Cellar either. Like, Cellar in these decks is just not that good of a card. Also, Walled Village, not a very good card in these kinds of decks. It doesn't do very much for you. You're trying to draw a lot, I guess. Oh, I guess that's what Jake meant by thinning was Island. Yeah, that seems real bad. This game should be pretty fast, just with Delve Money, a Tormentor, and then a Baker. You have pretty good reliability from the delves. Like you pretty robust to greening, and Cellar, obviously the estates, the curse, and the copper. Oh, he's gonna keep the. I wouldn't keep the estate. Imp, Tormentor. Don't think you could play the island here. Excuse me. Okay, this seems a little early for a province, but it's probably not the worst. I would have thought about silver gold or 4 silvers. This has actually worked out, I think, better than Jake could have expected. Uh, but he's also being helped out by the fact that his opponent's gotten like the scholar and the village and the cellar and like all of that stuff that doesn't seem particularly good to me. Although I think the opponent's probably still ahead. It's kind of close. Just like double delve here, right? The opponent's also gotten a couple of islands, which I don't know, man. Here I just delve. I think Cellar's a very bad card for these decks. Actually, not very bad, but like slightly worse than nothing. And Silver's like markedly better than nothing. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, Jake's opponent should be provincing here. The Curse of Fenrir. Silver Village. I think this is a bit of an overbuild from the opponent. Obviously, you Imp, Tormentor. Again, I'd probably triple delve here. I'd be a bit leery of taking province here because you're unlikely to be able to keep provincing. And in that case, you'd rather. I mean, it probably doesn't make a big difference, right? You draws a copper here and you just double delve or something. He's probably going to cellar all of these, but he's going to not have a great hand here either. Yeah, so like here, again, don't province double delve because you're shuffling coming up. You're going to run out of stuff. You're not going to be able to keep provincing. You're going to need to turn back to building some econ in your deck. So you may as well do that now. It's better to do that now than green now. So this should be double delve. I guess you could think about island, but I don't. I don't like island. I would really double delve here. And at that point, I think Jake is very much in the game. Uh, yes, his opponent is likely to be able to province reasonably reliably, but not really more than that. And like Jake has some reasonable chances to be able to province reliably long enough to be able to match that, I guess. Match it enough to be in the game. I still think Jake is behind, but it's maybe like a 60-40. Okay, Envious hurts. So Jake just said he lost $3 to Envy. He lost 2 coins to Envy. But now I think he just needs to province. His opponent is just too likely to be keep provincing out. You just have to keep provincing every turn, and okay. So province. And it's like it looks bad for Jake here, but it's not unwinnable, right? Jake could. It's kind of unwinnable. Okay, it's not quite unwinnable. It's pretty close though. His opponent should go for a province, and which point you just gotta say to Jake, you gotta have province. Yeah. See, a lot of people wouldn't actually province there, at which point it's quite bad. But okay. I guess you could do this. Yes. Oh, and very lucky, Jake comes through. Yeah, but I really think it was misplayed to go for the islands and stuff. I mean, he also got a lot of bad hexes, but I think he could have played better, and his opponent could have played better and won. Jake could have played better, and yeah, his opponent probably also greened a little too late. Anyway, hopefully this was educational.